Johnny asked a good question. Who is y'all's, I will say, way too early SEC championship matchup? Now, we're going to dive more into this at post spring once we get a better feel of some things. And, we steal content from other people that we can read and stuff like that. So, to form our opinions, way too early SEC championship matchup. I'm going to hold off on that. I do want to ask you guys this. Who is somebody that, well, let's see this. Let's go to our friends over at Bet Online. What are the way too early odds for the SEC championship? Let's see if we can find. I want to find this real quick. I'm looking. I don't know if you guys.
Georgia, Texas, easily number 1 and 2.
So we go NCAA football futures. Did you find it, Ralph?
I was looking. Sorry, I thought you were doing this.
I got it here. No worries. Okay, so NC conference futures. So here we go. In the SEC, are you guys ready for this? Texas is plus 200.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia plus 275.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee plus 600. Alabama plus 600. LSU plus 800. Ole Miss plus 1,000. Auburn's plus 2,800, just in case you're wondering, Will. Who's a team that's not in that top 5 that you're like, hey, things break right, they could find themselves in Atlanta. So we'll end it with that. Who's kind of a dark horse team to maybe make the SEC championship this year? So I'll read off those top 5. It cannot be any of these top 5. Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, LSU. We'll go 6 with Ole Miss because that's all the odds kind of under 1,000. So who wants to go first with that?
I can, and I was going to use one, but now I can't use it because I looked at their schedule and it's not in their favor this year. It wasn't in their favor last year. I'll say South Carolina if everything goes right this year. You get Alabama at home this year. Obviously, you're playing LSU on the road, A&M on the road. But I feel like you have a solid chance to perform well on the road in those stadiums. If you perform well at Alabama this past year, when you were favored, you were down. I think you were a 12, 14-point underdog in that game and only lost by 2. With additions they had in the transfer portal, with the guys coming back offensively and defensively, if things go right, they stay healthy, they're a team that could be a dark horse. I was going to use Florida, but their schedule is not very favorable for them to go undefeated, honestly.
I think South Carolina's schedule's pretty hard on the back end, to be honest with you, too.
My thing about Florida is they got to play at LSU, at Miami, back-to-back weeks, and then you get a bye week. You got Texas at A&M, and then you go Mississippi State bye week, and then you got Georgia at Kentucky, at Ole Miss, Tennessee, Florida State.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to get to Atlanta.
It's the hard. I'm not going to say it's a shocking game, but they play South Florida week 2. One of those teams that could just catch you on a bad day. Possibly.
Will, who's your team outside that plus 1,000 odds?
Please say Auburn. Do us all a favor. Say it.
I forgot who they were.
Kentucky.
You mean to read the odds again?
Yeah, read them again for me. I forgot what they were.
All right, so we're doing you got to be outside the top 6. So you have Texas plus 200, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, LSU, Ole Miss. They're all within the plus 1,000 odds to win the conference championship. I'm just talking about a team that could get there. So that kind of makes a difference. So outside of those 6 teams, who are you rocking with? I'll tell you this, the next best 3 odds to win it, A&M, South Carolina, and Auburn.
I'm going full homer. Auburn.
Thank God.
Auburn. I think
needed this.
The mass improvements to the offensive line, stabilizing at quarterback. We already talked about the receiver room. Again, I think the question is going to be the front 7 for Auburn. Keldrick Faulk comes back. That's a huge piece for Auburn. Going to be the primary pass rusher, but outside of that, it's a lot of guys that haven't played a ton in that front 7. So, maybe Auburn can, new quarterback, better offensive line. Maybe they can just outscore everybody. Who knows? And I mean, I talk about the front 7, but it's really like who can get to the quarterback. I mean, the SEC has become a big passing league. kind of like everybody else. It's document it. It's been a while since I've said something positive. It's like Johnny's saying the schedule isn't crazy. It's really not.
Georgia and
Auburn
Bama at
gets
home.
Georgia and Alabama at home. That's huge. What's the toughest road game will be Texas A&M. Have to go on the road to Oklahoma. I mean, it's
Got to go to Vandy this year too. Don't worry.
well, Auburn will be 11-1 with a loss to Vanderbilt because Hugh Freeze can't beat Diego Pavia. He can't crack Diego. Can't crack that code. But no, I mean it's
It's not
exciting
crazy.
times.
It's not crazy
No.
to say it, Will. It really is.
Well,
It's
I
okay.
went to go look at the schedule, okay? And we're talking about just getting to the SEC championship. Per Bet Online, to win it outright is plus, what was it? What did I say again?
Plus
Plus
2,800.
3,800?
28.
Was that what I said?
2,800.
Plus 2,800. Right. The
I say.
the schedule lines up like this to where you could theoretically, and God, we're going to get Will just too excited about all this. Will, I do believe there's a chance you could roll into College Station on September 27th undefeated. That would require you going on the road to beat Baylor, which would be a good statement win to start off, the season.
Won't happen. Walker White's there.
He's not playing this year, Will. Get over
Play
it. He's
against
not
Auburn.
going to play.
You got to go. Well, listen.
He'll
You got
run
Ball
out-
State.
He'll run out with the freshman. Okay.
You got
That's what he's
you
going to
got-
do. He'll do the
you got
freshman
Ball
run
State.
with fans.
you play at home against South Alabama.
Won't play Troy.
Then you go on the road at Oklahoma, which could be interesting. But I think too the upside could be you get them so early in the year that maybe. I mean, I would say maybe Mateer's not antiquated, but he's his old OC, so it doesn't really matter. So I think you could go into College Station undefeated. Now, if you pass that test, right, you got to play Georgia at home. Even if you lose that game, the back half of your schedule is Missouri at home, at Arkansas, home against Kentucky, at Vanderbilt. Between your bye weeks, if Auburn can find a way to go 4-1, I think they got a legitimate shot to go to Atlanta.
November 22nd is a toss-up game now.
Yeah, toss-up game. Fighting Bears of Mercer. Top
Mercer.
defense in the FCS last year. No, but in all seriousness, I do think within the
Joke
bye week,
around. Last time Mercer went there, they tried to win.
Yeah, but TJ Finley was playing quarterback. Let's be
TJ
honest.
Finley threw 2 picks, and I was in the radio booth just losing my mind. I was like, this is ridiculous. This guy's terrible.
Hey, I remember the coach said Auburn did a great job after the lightning delay. That's when everybody knew. The standard.
When Auburn came back after that lightning delay and they were playing swag surfing with 47 people in the stands and they act like they had just won the national championship after beating Mercer, I was like, this is a problem. This is a problem. So I don't hate it, Will, and I'll be tempted with you. I was tempted to go there because I do think, I think I just don't, I'm not going to count Jackson Arnold out as an Auburn Tiger on March the 5th. I'm not going to do it. I think the talent is there. Can they realize it? We'll see. Now, you've got Auburn at plus 2,800. Ralph, you took South Carolina at plus 2,200. I'm going to go with that 4th place team. It would not shock me to see Texas A&M in Atlanta. I think they could find a way to do it. Odds are plus 1,600 to win the whole thing. But I do like Texas A&M as a team that could maybe sneak their way into an opportunity in Atlanta. And a reason being, and I'll say this, is because even with everything last year, fellas, they kind of collapsed. Yeah, they did. But even with everything last year, they rolled into the month of October undefeated in SEC play. Like, they had a chance to go and do some damage. Now, obviously, the back half of their schedule was different. But here's the thing. You look at the schedule, how it lines up. UTSA, Utah State, at Notre Dame. I'm not even worried about Notre Dame because we're talking about conference. You host Auburn, okay? You host Mississippi State, you host Florida. You go to Arkansas. Really, your first real road test is going to be October 25th at LSU. Historically, in that rivalry, whatever you want to call it, the home team wins. Even if you drop that, you still have Missouri, South Carolina, and Texas. If they can end the season with 2 conference losses, Guys, we saw like in October there was some crazy 8-way tie, right? Remember, like it was ridiculous that could have happened. If they could go 9-3, 6-2 in conference, it's not crazy. And I think that's kind of the criteria we're all thinking here. Like you could still lose a non-conference game. You could drop maybe one one conference game, and maybe you could find your way in there. But I think
Are they playing the Arkansas A&M game back on home fields again? They're not playing in Dallas anymore, are they?
This game will be in Fayetteville. Yes, on October 18th.
That has been the most annoying.
Or will it be in Little Rock?
No, it's in
Do
Fayetteville.
they play there anymore? I mean, I know it's
No.
like the running
don't
joke.
think
I don't even know if
Not
they do.
anymore.
What is?
That's where, no, that ended a long time ago. I think, or about what 6-7 years ago. Something like that.
I couldn't tell you. I just wouldn't feel right about it. But no, I think it'll be interesting. That's our SEC tiers,
Hey.
though, fellas. And
A&M
go ahead.
does play Stanford though, November 22nd. So 2 big SoCon matchups on November.
Yeah, watch out, Maxwell.
Maxwell's going to be there. I heard.
Oh, there's our friend. We had to get it in here. Our boy TriStar, Georgia, Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, Alabama, Georgia Tech, Florida, Auburn, Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Mississippi State, and Florida State. TriStar never misses. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you are doing so well.